Okay, so regarding the Calci, we already discussed. It is a spreadsheet software. So in the chapter number 3, we discussed regarding the types of softwares. Earlier we did word processing software, that is a writer. And now we are going to study spreadsheet software, that is OpenOffice Calci. So if we talk about the spreadsheet software, what are those? The spreadsheet softwares are the softwares which helps us to perform various types of calculations, which is not possible in any word processing software or the presentation softwares. A spreadsheet is a program which will accept the value from the user. In which form? Obviously the data in the spreadsheet software will be stored in the tabular form, that is rows and columns. The rows are horizontal and the columns are vertical, right? So it will be in the form of the table where the data is going to be stored in the form of rows and column, in which you can perform the calculations on those values. You can perform the comparisons through the chart options. You can analyze the data. You can implement the functions. So various tasks can be possible in the spreadsheet software that we will going to be discussed in this chapter. So let's concentrate on now what are the examples of spreadsheet software. Already we did also in the third chapter also. So examples of the spreadsheet softwares are Excel, Calci, Quattro Pro, Lotus 1-2, VisiCalci, GNumeric. So these are some of the examples of spreadsheet software, but we have to work in OpenOffice Calci. And the extension of OpenOffice Calci is .ods. .ods. Clear? The next is, you can see, this is a screenshot of the spreadsheet software, that is the Calci. So various components in the Calci spreadsheet window, you can see the first is the worksheet. A worksheet is a grid of cells that is made up of rows and columns, whereas rows are the horizontal and columns are vertical. You can also say a worksheet as spreadsheets. That is another name of worksheet. Other name of worksheet is spreadsheet. And in our syllabus, the version is 4.1.2. The total number of rows in Calci are 1048576. 1048576. And the total number of columns are 1024. So this will vary from version to version, that which version we are working in. But in the version 4.1.2, the rows are 1048576 and the columns are 1024. Clear? So this is the worksheet. Now there is one more component, we can say workbook. Now what's the difference between the worksheet and the workbook? The worksheet is, we can already say it is a collection of rows and columns, that is a grid, right? And the columns, wait, somebody is entering into a class. Okay, so worksheet, it is a grid of cells. A cell means an intersection of row and column. Note it down, what is a cell? Cell is an intersection of row and column. I'm saying row and column, not rows and columns. So it is a single row and column where they meet, where they intersect, that particular forms a cell, right? And workbook is a collection of worksheets. So that means a workbook is a parent and worksheet will be a child. So parent can have multiple childs. A workbook can have multiple worksheets. So workbook is bigger than the worksheets because worksheet is a part of workbook. And by default, there are 3 worksheets. How many worksheets are there by default? 3 worksheets are there by default. However, we can insert any number of worksheets in a workbook. So you can insert using the method. So there are 2 methods that we will be doing practically later. So by the help of the methods, you can insert the worksheets. But by default, on the starting, only 3 worksheets will be there in a workbook, and collectively all the three worksheets will be called as workbook, and a single sheet in a workbook is called spreadsheet or worksheet, right? The difference is clear? Okay. The next is row numbers. Now in the components, bache, you can see the rows are starting from number 1. Rows are horizontal, right? And the horizontal rows are starting from 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so on up to how many rows? We have already discussed. The number of rows are 1048576. Similarly, the columns are starting from alphabet, that is A. It will be starting from A, and the total number of columns are 1024. So the last column name will be AMJ. Last column will be AMJ. The first column is A. It will go up to AMJ. After the Z column, the column name will be AA. Then AB, AC, AD, so on up. Right? It will be in the same manner. And going up onto the same manner, the last column will be identified as AMJ. Clear? Now cells. Cell is intersection of rows and column. Now cell is a rectangular area where you can enter the number, you can enter the formulas or functions, you can enter the textual values as well. Now the cell pointer. A cell pointer is a thick black border around the cell that signifies the active cell, meaning wherever you will put the mouse pointer in a particular cell, that cell will be a active cell. So it will be surrounded by a black thick border around it. So it will be called as active cell, right? Also cell pointer, because the mouse pointer is in the active cell only. Now the two main important components are name box and formula bar. Name box will be present on the left side of this formula bar. You can see here A1, and towards the right side of the A1, three buttons are there: FX, summation, and accept button, and a long horizontal text box is there. A long horizontal text box is called a formula bar, right? Now, what's the purpose of these two components? Name box will display the address of active cell. We just talk about the active cell right now, that the active cell will be a cell in which your mouse pointer will be, in which the cell pointer will be currently highlighting it, or it will be signifying it. So the active cell address, now each cell in the worksheet will be having some address, a unique address. For example, A1, A2, A3, B1, C1, D1, right? So every cell will be having a unique address. That address will be shown by name box. So name box will show the address of active cell. And by default, our cursor, our mouse pointer will always be in the first cell. You can see in the screenshot now, the A1 cell is highlighted, a thick black border is there, right? So thick black border is in the A1, so that's why the A1 in the name box you can see now. You can see in the screenshot carefully, A1 is there in the name box because by default, when you will open the spreadsheet, you will open the Kelsey software, automatically your mouse pointer will be in the first cell. It will be highlighting the first cell only. Later on, you can put your mouse pointer anywhere. So accordingly, the address will get changed. But initially, by default, at the first position, the address will be A1. And now whatever the content, whatever the value, whatever the text you are going to write in this A1, that will be the part of formula bar. So two things are there in a cell. Whatever the content you are writing in the cell, that will be part of the formula bar, and the address of that cell will be indicated in the name box. Clear? So name box will display the address of active cell or the current cell, and the formula bar will display the content of active cell. Clear? Next are the range of cells. So we talked about the cell on a single individual cell A1, B1, so on. Similarly, if you are referring a multiple cells, a consecutive cells, for example, starting from A1 to A6, so that means there will be 6 cells in the A1 to A6. So how you are going to define a range? Starting cell, colon symbol, and the last cell. Always make sure when you are selecting a range, it will be in the rectangular form. Range will be in the rectangular form, starting from the first cell, ending with the last cell, and in between a colon sign will be there. You can see in the example A2 colon B10, right? It will be in the form of rectangle, and you need to specify the address of the first cell and the last cell in the range. Clear? If I'm saying A1 colon A5, so how many cells I'm selecting? 5 cells. And if in case you have to name those cells, then A1 colon A5, name the cells in those range. The range, the number of cells are 5 and the name of the cells are A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. Clear? The range of cells? Okay. The next component is the menu bar. You already know that in each of the software, the menu bar is present below the title bar. So it is a bar below the title bar which will display several menus. For example, file, edit, view, insert, format, the same as we did in the writer also. Toolbars. So it contains two types of toolbars by default, that is again standard and formatting toolbar. So standard toolbar will contain the list of frequently used commands or the frequently used buttons, and the formatting toolbar is concerned with the formatting. So it will include all the formatting related options or buttons on it. No doubt you can activate any of the toolbar. The command for that is view menu toolbar, and under the toolbar, the particular toolbar that you want to activate. For example, drawing toolbar. So what will be the command? View toolbar and then drawing, right? Similarly, type table toolbar or any of the toolbar you want to enable or activate, the command will be same. View menu, arrow, toolbar, arrow, the particular name of the toolbar that you want to activate. Clear? The next component is the status bar. So it will be the bottom bar in the Kelsey software that will show the number of current sheet, the total number of sheets present in the spreadsheet. Zoom slider will be there, or the insert or the over typing mode will be there. That whether you are working in the insert mode or you are working in the overwriting mode. Insert mode means you are directly inserting the values, and overwriting means whatever the content you are writing, the previous value will get overwrite. Clear? Next, I show you right now the three buttons that are present on the formula bar. You can see FX is there, summation button is there, right? So these are the three buttons that are present on the formula bar. The first button is the function wizard, that is the sum button, which will helps you to give the or create the formulas and functions using a summation, that is a sum. You can directly create a sum function from this button. Cancel button. So whatever the value you are going to write in your cell or you have typed in this cell, then you can press the cross button, that is the cancel button, if you want to undo the changes or cancel the actions that you have made in the existing formulas or functions. And if you want to accept those changes or accept those data that you have written, then you have to press accept button, that is a tick button. A tick symbol will be there, and that button is called accept button. So three buttons are there: function wizard, cancel and accept. Now let's see the methods of creating a new workbook. You might be remember in writer we did three methods for creating a new writer document. The same three methods in the spreadsheet also for creating a new workbook. So three methods are there. The first one is using the command, that is file menu, new option, and under the new option, spreadsheet option. Second method using the shortcut key, that is Control plus N. Third method, new button on the standard toolbar. The same three methods we did in the writer, so it will be easy for you to learn. So for creating the new workbook, again, let's see using the command, that is file menu, new spreadsheet option, second shortcut key Control+N, direct option from the standard toolbar, that is the new button on standard toolbar. Now, three methods for saving the new workbook. How you can save a workbook now? Again, three methods are there. File menu, save option, this is the command. Shortcut key, Control+S, and the button on the standard toolbar is save. Also, you can use save as. And in order, if you're using the save as, then the shortcut key is Control+Shift+S. Okay? The shortcut key will be same in each software. So by default, the first name of the Kelsey file is untitled1. That is before saving. The initial file name is untitled1. Once you have done the work in the spreadsheet in the Kelsey window, then after that on saving, I already told you the extension is .ods. And for the first time, either you are using save as or save, you need to provide the file name for that. File name dot extension, that is file name dot ods. Clear? Now how to open the existing workbook? Again, three methods are there. Using the command file menu, open option, shortcut key Control+O, third method open button on the standard toolbar. Clear? So once you will follow one of the method, the open dialog box will get appear, in which you need to locate your file by specifying the path or specifying the location where your file is actually residing, and then finally click on the open button. Clear? So by default, I already told you workbook has three worksheets, that is with the name sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. These are the three by default worksheets in the workbook. Clear? Now, what type of data we can enter in a worksheet? So three types of data we can enter, that is formulas. When we are going to create a formula, it will always be starting with equal to sign. So now you can apply the formula using the cell addresses also, or using a value also. For example, equal to A1 plus B1 plus C1. And similarly, if you're giving some value equal to 5 plus 2 plus 3. So both way you can give the formula, and it will always start with equal to sign. Next is the text. The text data you can enter, alphabetically data or the special symbols. Numbers, when you want to enter the number, the numeric values, right? So positive numeric value and negative values both can be entered in the cells. Clear, bache? On the particular cell where you want to enter the data, click on that or double click on the cell. A cursor will appear in that cell and you need to enter the content there. The second way by which you can enter the data directly, select the cell. Firstly, by selecting the cell with the single click and then typing the content into the formula bar. So obviously when the cell will be selected, the active cell will be there, right? That cell will be acted as a active cell, and the content that you're going to type in the formula bar will appear in that particular cell only. Clear? So I already told you about the three buttons on the formula bar, that is cancel, accept and function wizard. Cancel button is just used to cancel the entry of the data that you have written, and it is equivalent to pressing the escape key from the keyboard. You can either use escape key or cancel button from the formula bar. Second is the check mark, that is the accept button. It is equivalent to the enter key from the keyboard. So you can press enter button on the formula bar as well as enter key from the keyboard. So it will accept the data. Function wizard, by which we are going to create a formulas and functions. Clear? So let's see the type of data in detail that we can insert in the Kelsey worksheet. So first is the number. Number are the values that are used for the calculation. Always remember, numbers are always by default right aligned. So whenever you are entering some value in the cells, it will always be right aligned. Now number can include any character, for example, positive value, then plus sign is to be there, minus value, divide, multiply, right? Percentage is there, and the values it will contain 0 to 9. So 0 to 9, you can obviously make 1, 0, 10, and so on up to the next values, right? So in order to avoid entering the fraction as date, for example, if you're typing a fraction 1 by 25, so when you will type 1 by 25 in the calc, it will automatically consider it as a date. That 25 is the date and 1 is the month, right? So it will consider the fraction as a day. But when you are purely inserting a fraction, so how to consider it as a fraction only? So there are three ways by which you can make the fraction appear as the fraction in the calc. So three ways are there. You can make the positive value, put plus sign, plus 1 divided by 25. So it will be considered as fraction value, that is 1 by 25, it will get solved 0 point something, right? Or the second way is you can precede 1 by 25 with 0. Clear? Either you can precede plus symbol, you can precede 0 symbol. The third way is you can make it as a equal. Clear? So if you are putting the equal 1 by 25, we need to put as positive 1 by 25. You need to put plus sign, or you need to put 0 in front of 1 by 25. And if you will not put, it will considered as a date value. Clear? The next is, so it will store up to maximum of 15 digits in a cell, including the integers and decimals. If the value will exceed these 15 digits, a hash symbol will appear in a cell. You already done in the Excel also. So hash means the column value is not adjustable in the column width. So we need to double click on the right border of the column heading to widen the column, to enlarge the column. हमें column size को बड़ा करना पड़ेगा so that our value can fit into a particular cell, right? Next is the text. Text is the data that is not contain any formula or a value. Only the alphabets data will be there. It will be a combination of numeric or spaces or the non-numerical characters. That is alphanumeric characters will be there. Clear? You cannot interpret the formula as a textual data. The alphanumeric data will be considered as a textual data. For example, A25, and always make sure the first character will not be a number. The first will be a digit. Clear? The numeric data can be converted into a text if you're putting a number in the front at the first position. So we need to put a single quote in front of a digit so that it can be interpreted as the textual data. So if I'm writing 8, so 8 will be which kind of data? Numeric data. But if I'm writing single quote and then 8, so it will become textual data now. Clear? If I'm writing a single 8, it will be a numeric data. And if I'm writing the single quote, then 8, it will be considered as a text data. That will be including a alphanumeric. Clear? Next, by default, the textual data is always left aligned. Numbers are right aligned, text are left aligned. But you can change the alignment according to your requirement. The third type of data is formulas. So with the help of the formulas, you can implement the calculations in the worksheets. So various kind of formulas you can implement as well. The functions also, plus, minus, multiply, divide, all the arithmetic functions you can implement in this. A formula is a set of mathematical instructions or expressions that can be used to perform the calculations. When the formula uses the text, it is called text formula, and it may contain AND operator. This is called the concatenation. Concatenation means joining of two strings, joining of two textual data. If I'm writing, for example, if I'm writing 3 equal to 3 plus 7 and I press enter, what will be the answer? 10 equal to 3 plus 10. So I will be getting the value 10 because it contains the numeric data and the values will get added. The formula is starting with the equal to sign. So the expression is okay. So it will solve, the answer will 10. But if I'm writing equal to Prabgun and Kaur, so it will give you Prabgun Kaur, right? Because both the words are textual data. Prabgun and Kaur is the textual word. And how I'm concatenating, how I'm joining with the help of and symbol. So and symbol is the concatenation symbol that is present on the keyboard. Clear? Now one thing more. If I'm saying Prabgun and Kaur, so it will join Prabgun Kaur without any space between the two words. Now if you want to give the space between the two words, what you can do is Prabgun and give one space in the double quotes, then and, then Kaur. So it will implement space also in between the two characters. Clear? So this is called joining or concatenation. So we will be doing the practical portion also of this tomorrow, right? So just let finish the theory part. Okay, the formula can contain all the arithmetic operators, that is plus, minus, multiply, divide. Already we discussed that. So it can contain the logical operations also, greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to. So it establishes the relation between various cells. A formula is always preceded with equal to sign, and formulas can contain functions also. Just look at these formulas. Equal to C6 minus C7. So this means I am subtracting the content of C7 from C6. C6 के मैं C7 से नहीं माइनस कर रही हूँ, मैं C7 के कंटेंट C6 से सब्ट्रैक्ट कर रही हूँ. Clear? So C6 minus C7 starting with equal to sign. Next, equal to 45 into 77. So it will be calculated and the result will be available in that particular cell. Now is it clear, bache? Formulas? It is visible? Okay. So equal to 45 into 77 means the product of 45 and 77 will get in that particular cell in whichever the formula you have applied. Next, equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4. So there will be symbol plus in between the A2 and A3 that is missing in this example. So it will get added the values of cell A1, A2, A3 and A4. So all the four cells will get added. Clear? Next is to create the formula equal to E8 multiply by F8 into the G8 means आपने G8 वाले cell में क्या formula लगाना है? In the G8, click on the G8 cell, right? Activate that cell, then type the equal to sign, then click the first cell, that is E8. With the help of the mouse pointer, click on E8 and then multiply sign and then click on the F8 cell. So this was the first method when you're doing through a mouse pointer by activating the particular cells. So you can see activate the cell where you want the result should be appear. In this case, the active cell should be G8 because we want the answer in G8. Then type equal to sign, click the first cell that is E8 that you want to include the formula. Then type the operator, multiply, and then click on the last cell. Last cell will be the F8. The next cell will be the F8. Then press enter key from the keyboard or enter button on the formula bar. So after pressing enter by any of the method, you will get the desired values. Whatever the content will be in the E8, in the F8, for example, if 5 is in the E8 and 6 is in the F8, the result in G8 will be 30. 5 into 6 is 30. So 30 answer you will be getting in the G8 cell. Clear? The second method is directly you can type the formula, you can type the addresses also in the cell or in the formula bar. You can directly type rather than selecting one by one each cell using the mouse pointer. You can yourself type the cell addresses also. Clear? So you can see here now how you can enter the text data. Simply select the cell where you want to enter the data. For example, in this example, I have taken A1. Double click on the active cell, a cursor will